Hello, everyone. Lisette here. Today, I wanted to address a question that I got from Martin, a Scrum Master, senior consultant, and company owner. Martin writes, I am a heavy user of Miro to facilitate, but I haven't gotten my team to invest as much in learning even the basics of it. So it feels like we still lack a good area for collaboration. And indeed, I understand. So I wanted to give some of my tips for helping people to use new tools or experiment with new tools, and specifically in this episode, virtual whiteboards. All right, one thing to recognize is that it is surprisingly difficult to get people to experiment with new tools, especially when they don't see why it's immediately useful for them, right? In the beginning, it's just a chore. And specifically with virtual whiteboards, people really underestimate the power of visualizing together. So, yes, you might tell them, hey, it's really great to visualize together, but until they actually do it, they don't really grok the aha moment, right? Of like, oh, this really is powerful. I want to give you some techniques that I've tried. The first one is just getting them to do something very simple in a whiteboard. One of my favorites is this exercise where I ask people to look at a set of pictures. It can be any pictures. And I ask them the question, which of these images represents how your team works together? And they have to drag an image on the whiteboard over just the side. And then in a breakout room, or depending on the size of the group, talk to each other about why they chose the picture they did and what it represents to them, right? That is a very easy way of just getting someone to drag something on the whiteboard and pretty, nice to look at. Now, the second technique is a little bit more involved, and it is asking people to upload a picture of their ideal workspace. So this one, they have to go out and find a picture and they have to learn how to upload it onto a virtual whiteboard. Usually it's very easy, but of course it varies by person. And it is really nice. One, you want to share your ideal workspace with others and you want to see what other people's workspaces look like too, right? So that's a nice exercise. And in general, people don't mind contributing. It varies depending on the meeting, of course. But again, another way to get people using this. The next step then might be for them to add a sticky note, right? What I've done up here is I've got all of these emoticons so that people can drag them. Oops, I'm connecting them now, but maybe you want to take and you want to put a star next to somebody, or you want to say like, oh, I really like the glasses, right? So you can make it a little bit more interactive. And the people that know how to do it will do it immediately. And the people who are still learning will see that it can be done. Now, my next tip is don't overuse the tool, right? Not everything has to be done in the virtual whiteboard. When I gave my workshops, I started setting everything up in Miro or on other whiteboards too, because it's just so cool, right? You can add the documents, you can do all the exercises, people can come back and reference it. And it is really great for experienced whiteboard users. However, if you're not an experienced whiteboard user, it's really a lot. And so my tip is only use the whiteboard when it adds something to the situation. So if it's just a conversation, we don't have to document everything that we've said. No need to use a whiteboard for that. Now, one thing that can help people feel more comfortable is framing the use of a new tool as an experiment. Like, okay, it's not permanent. I just want to try it out and see what it does. So it makes it sound short term, easy, bite sized, something that people can add to their busy schedules. So just framing it as an experiment. I will add that if you're going to do that, it's important to then go back and close the accountability loop on that experiment and to share what you learned from trying that. It's all well and good to try new things, but if we don't go back and really figure out what did we learn and what are we going to do from here, then the experiment is only really half done. And don't make it mandatory. Not everyone wants to participate, and some people have technical challenges. Usually, when I'm giving a workshop, I'll just make sure that at least one person in every group is able to access the board and do the things that need to be done, and the other people can just watch. Adding those kind of features makes it a little bit more inclusive and a little bit less intimidating for people. And then my last tip is offer one on one support. Some people are really embarrassed that they don't know how to use the tool or that it seems really difficult to them. 10 years ago, I interviewed NASA, and one of the things that they said was that they assigned a support person to every scientist that came on board because scientists were really great at doing their science things, but they weren't necessarily good at all the technical things that they needed to learn in order to connect with the global community of NASA employees. So they assigned a specific support person to that particular scientist so that they felt comfortable in asking more questions. So I hope that I've given you enough tips and techniques for integrating some of these tools and specifically whiteboards into your team's daily practices. Let me know how it goes. Until next time, I'll see you online. If you want to learn more about how to rock the flexible first workplace, then join one of our live interactive workshops. Our community of professional licensed facilitators will show you how to succeed in this flexible first landscape, happening all over the world and in many different languages. Or join one of our complimentary virtual co-working sessions where we'll show you what a productivity power hour looks like. You'll get things done, meet new people, and hopefully have some fun along the way. Until then, everybody, we'll see you online.